But here we are, still making it pop, making it bubble, making it crackle every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. If you're watching on one of these streams and you would like to join us in the Zoom, the number is on your screen. It is 279-995-364. Jump into the Zoom. Trust me, it is a totally different world inside the Zoom. Jump into the greatest community in the world. We do this week after week, 173 to be exact, thanks to some dedicated folks who pay these bills. So we'd like to thank the National Endowment for the Arts, the New York State Council on the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, the Amazon Literary Partnership, and the New York Community Trust for hosting our free online events. You can add your energy to the mix with a tax-deductible donation by going to neweurekan.org/contribute or by hitting the Cash App at $New Eurekan Poets Cafe. Make sure you are plugging in with the dopest tech in the Zoomverse, the one and only Ron Mark Thompson, aka RMT. You're not down with RMT by now, damn it. You should be. Also, make sure you are plugging in with the squad. Shout out C4. We bomb atomically. You will hear these folks' names throughout the evening. Trust me, they are worth plugging into. This is where you can find me. So much going on. Make sure you plug in. It is truly Storm Force season. Tonight's theme, finding balance. Self-care. I know this may almost sound cliche, right? But we don't always focus on what we need to do to maintain our energy level, right? I'm looking forward to hearing about the importance of being in balance with yourself and the universe, right? Creating your own harmony. Why is self-care so important, right? And like this image shows, right? The chakra alignment, why is that important? I'm looking forward to hearing how everyone uses their poetic license this evening to flip this theme. However, if your poem is not on theme, that is still totally cool. We are still looking forward to all the incredible artistry that you share with us this evening. All right, y'all, coming at you. Next week's theme. You ready? Here it comes. Fruits and vegetables. Color of health. This, to me, this was born out of, I learned something recently that was a fruit and not a vegetable. Like, wait, I thought that was a vegetable. How the hell is that a fruit? Right? So think about that. Which one of those things that you learned surprised you, right? Doesn't matter which, right? And what is the importance of both? I have heard in my life that the key to health is a colorful plate. Right? Tell us about the color of health that has been passed down to you, the color of health that you use to keep yourself going in the right direction, right? Fruits and vegetables can be very energetic, right? I've heard about, nature's cereal. If you don't know about it, make sure you learn about it for real. It is energizing, all right? And listen, fruits and vegetables can be taken any way. Again, you have poetic license to flip it, all right? I have fruits and vegetables in my life that are not necessarily that are from the ground, but you know what I mean? All love, right? Shout out my boo-boo who called me right before. Listen, it is about nurturing, right? And blossoming and energizing, right? Fruits and vegetables. Looking forward to it. All right. Yeah, let's get to the rules so we can get to the poetry. All right. Poets, turn your cameras on. We are trying to simulate a live open mic as much as possible. We understand it's not easy to get on here, all right? Trust me, folks, it is not, right? Whether you are in person or virtually, it is not easy to get up on this microphone. But we are hoping to see all the beautiful expression that you use to share your poetry. Plus, I love to see if you're going to freak out these backgrounds. Make sure you are changing your name inside the Zoom to coincide with what you want people to know and how they can follow you. All right, turn your cameras on. As you're getting ready to rip, have your poems ready. If you're going analog style, dog ear the page, or if you're going digital, have the file pulled up and ready to rock. If you're using music, which is totally cool, make sure it's original music. If you're playing original music, make sure you have on original sound. We don't want the agents of the interweb to interact or interfere with our streams in any way. So make sure you are using original music and original sound. Poets, you have 3 minutes to rock and a 30-second intro. I've said this before. I don't want to time cop anybody, all right? Be mindful of the folks who are coming behind you, all right? 3 minutes and a 30-second intro. Trust me, you see this wrap it up box. We will get to that, all right? Changes are coming. I don't necessarily want to do that, but it's coming, all right? So please be mindful of the poets who are coming behind you, all right? We have reached night 30 for the babies. The founders of our cafe were major proponents on the freedom of speech, and we will make sure it maintains in every single vein of what we do. Therefore, there is no censorship. Beyond any hate speech or any ism that people may use to manipulate, which will not, I said not, be tolerated, there is no censorship, all right? There are some explicit lyricists in our community, right? And some of them may trigger some deadly or dangerous flashbacks, all right? Thou hast been warned. I continue to say poetry is a living, breathing trigger warning. Thou hast been warned. This is a true call and response space. After the poets get up here and they rip open a part of their true soul to you, you will see this pop up on your screen. This is when you get a chance to share all your energy with the room and with the poets. Don't worry about the noise. It's the hypest night of the week anyway. Let the room and the poets know you are here, what you felt, all that energy they generated within you. Share it with the poets and the room. Every ounce of energy you share with them, they will give back to you in their poetic performance. So make sure you unmute yourself and give it up for the poets. The list tonight is closed. Sign up begins 24 hours before the open mic, which would be Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. You go to neweurekan.org, click on full events calendar. You click on the Monday that you want to get down on. You need an artist RSVP ticket. It's the only way that you can get on the guaranteed list. And these tickets will not even populate until 24 hours before the show. All right. So make sure you plug in. Also going on in the brick and mortar, the Monday night open mic hosted by Supreme, also hosted by Felicia Cade. That is going to be incredible. Trust me, both of those poets are incredible. Also, the Wednesday night slam alternated by J Rose and the Beebs. Let me tell you, they are both incredible. Also, Thursday night with Thunder Lungs. Shout out to Queen Ray Jane. Listen, you already know, I believe the Queen is in the building. Listen. Also, if you're in the tri-state area, make sure you are plugging in and falling through on Friday night with Jive. Shout out Paco. Listen, it is a true experience rocking on Friday night in the cafe. Also, right after Jive is the open mic with Chevy. As we've mentioned before, y'all, hybrid is coming to a screen near you. All right, make sure you are plugging in. There are spots available. We will get to that in the evening. Plus, there's a karaoke after party. It is going down. It's going to be real, y'all. I promise you. Tonight's list. Look at these incredible poets who have come to share their incredible artistry with us. So let's get to it. There's all my rowdy friends here on Monday night. Oh, it is great to see all of you beautiful poets ready to get down with us this evening. This is the hypest night of the week with the greatest community in the world, and we are about to show you why. Let's get to it. Setting us off this evening, as only Deadpan can. Shout out to Beanie Goddess, books on books on books. The one and only Deadpan Lizzie is here to set us off this evening. Unmute yourself. Let the folks where they can find you. Lizzie, it's always great to see you. Set us off this evening. Come on.
Thank you. Beanie blessings to you, E. Ray, RMT, and the community, ElizabethSophiaStrauss.com. I have a royal rhyme poem tonight. Chakras and Chaka Khan keep me balanced. Unlike the A train with each passing neighborhood, I let her notes channel me with talent. I refuse to disappear into knighthood and pretend like life will all be good. I do not overthink how I decompress. I simply let my wheel deal with stress. Thank you. Beanie blessings.
That's right. That's how you do it, folks. Listen, I don't know if y'all knew, but Deadpan actually does this. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Deadpan.
Great job.
All right, Deadpan.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Perfect opener.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Listen. I truly love that. Listen, the Starship is underway. Listen, I can hear the train in your voice, Lizzie, right? You mentioned the A train. I can hear it, right? Coming to a stop and pulling forward, right? It's so much into that. Thank you. She said a royal rhyme. Anytime you mention Shaka Khan, it's about to be some business. Appreciate you, Deadpan. For real. Setting us off the way only Deadpan can. Ugh. Come on, y'all. Let's get to it. Coming up next, the resident blacksmith is in the building. Mr. Lighthouse Writer himself, the one and only Michael Sindler is here. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online, Mr. Sindler. It's always great to see you. Please take it away.
Chaka Khan, y'all. Okay. I'm going to just go ahead and get my usual plug for lighthousewriters.org out of the way. Once again, wonderful organization. And what does it hurt you to just look it up there? So just check it out and see all the wonderful things they have going on. I changed what I was going to do when I saw what the theme is. So do a couple here, old ones. This first one's Ringa for Hotai. And for y'all who don't know, when you see that little thing with everybody think, oh, it's the laughing Buddha. No, that's Hotai. It's not a Buddha. So Hotai stretches, yawns, radiates true happiness, bathes in sweet sunshine, prepares for meditation, eyes closed to all distraction. He sits cross-legged, massive bulk, light as feather. Sit with him, feel calm. Thought, like fog, lifts, dissipates. Contentment fills the hollow. Heart opens to find Hotai's pure song resonate. Joy within each breath rests upon a soft pillow, opening like a lotus. And the second one I've also done before here, but I just, again, thought it fit. It's called Flying. He decided to learn to fly, not how to fly an airplane or a helicopter. He wanted to fly. He wasn't big on unnecessary risks. He decided not to do anything stupid like throwing himself off a building or cliff. He would start slow and build up to it. He picked a spot and named it his launch pad. He swept it until it was clean and tidy piece of earth with no pebbles or twigs to stick in his feet. He put on his lightest silk pajamas and called them his flight suit. Standing in the center of his launch pad, he took several deep breaths and then he jumped. He jumped straight up and then came down in the same spot. He'd only jumped a couple of inches, but he'd left the ground. He took a few more deep breaths and then jumped again. He repeated the procedure once more. After 3 jumps, he was happy with his efforts. He went about the rest of his daily routine feeling better for having left the Earth's surface 3 times. The next day, he swept his launch pad clean and jumped 3 more times. The next day, he did the same. Day after day, he would jump 3 times, then carry on with whatever jobs and chores the day had in store for him. This went on for months. At one point, the launch pad had been jumped on so many times it had become a hole. He filled the hole with fresh dirt, tamped it down, and then did his daily jumps. Not a day went by when he did not jump, no matter the weather or his health or how busy he was with obligations. Each day he would put on his flight suit, go to the launch pad, and jump. Some in town laughed. Some thought it was charming. Some wished him well when they saw him, offering their hopes he would eventually fly. He didn't distinguish between these camps. After his daily jumps, he met all with a kind smile as he went about his daily chores. After the first year, some were inspired by his consistency and attitude and made their own launch pads. They too started to jump 3 times each morning before starting their daily grind. Some soon stopped and some kept up the practice. After 2 years, there were dozens of people starting their day jumping 3 times in the air as high as they could. One day, the man did not come into town. He did not come the next day either. The townspeople went to investigate. At his launch pad, they found his flight suit pajamas in a heap right at the very center. They looked all around, but the man was nowhere to be seen. Someone looked up and saw something in the air. Perhaps it was a large bird, and perhaps not. After that, everyone in the village jumped together every morning. After their jumping, they smiled ethereal smiles. They went about their day with a lightness in their step and a graceful air whenever they met one another. If one didn't know better, one might even think they were flying. Okay, thank you very much.
Kind of like the feeling we get when we're listening to your poetry, Michael Sindler. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Michael Sindler.
Wow.
That was lovely.
Beautiful.
Love the ending. Love the ending.
Beautiful.
Love the ending too. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that one
Mhm.
too. Right. Listen, this is why I love any and every time Michael Sindler comes through. First of all, he delights you in style. Right. He said his first poem was a ranga. If you don't know what a ranga is, make sure you look it up. And he does indeed radiate true happiness. Right. But he was talking about Hotai, right? Whose eyes were closed to all distractions, right? Opening like a lotus. That, lotus is such a interesting anomaly in the world. In his second poem, that to me speaks so much of a poet, right? His flying poem, right? He named it his launch pad. And to me, it speaks of being a trendsetter, because he said, not a day went by, he didn't jump, but eventually the community started to jump as well. That's what trendsetters do. We make it graceful air for people to attempt it. So thank you, Michael Sindler. We truly appreciate all the energy and creativity that you bring and share with us. A valued member of our community. He would not have been talking about Lighthouse Writers for years if it wasn't something worth looking into. So plug in. All right, coming up next, the one and only Poetastic is in the building. This cat always has a rhyme. I'm telling you, his rhymes are always on time. Let me tell you, watch what he does real quick. Unmute yourself. Come on, Eddie. Tell him what it is. Take it away.
Thank you, my bro. Like no other words like thunder that always burn, born is right under. I rhyme all the time to make people feel sublime. Hope everyone get infatuated with the divine. Woo! All right, my name is Ed Potasco, fantastic. Please get in time to go join my rhyme for all feel sublime. All right, this is called Soothing Self-Care. Breathe in, breathe out, good in, bad out, peace in, hate out, calm in, anger out, light in, dark out, bliss in, chaos out, serenity in, trouble out, fun in, sad out, love in, neglect out, fire in, smug out, faith in, doubt out, you in, imposter out. Thank you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He said all that. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Eddie Corbin.
Love
you,
you,
Eddie.
Eddie. You're so wonderful.
Great,
It's a
Ed.
light.
Woo!
It's a light in our lives.
Right.
Fantastic. Come on, Poetastic. That was next level right there, man. I got to give that up to you, man. For real. He said, of course, you know, breathe in, breathe out, right? He said, bliss in, chaos out. Love in, neglect out. Faith in, doubt out. That, or I should say, those are the coordinates to progress. Exactly like that. Appreciate you, Eddie. And then having the nerve to rhyme it like this guy. Listen, make sure you plug into Poetastic. He hosts movie nights, right? Thanks to the one and only Finn Bell. Shout out to daughter of Krypton. Make sure you are plugging in to our community, greatest community in the world. Appreciate you, Eddie. Make sure you're plugging in Poetastic. Coming up next, the OG is here. I saw him with a magnifying glass. Oh my goodness, I don't know what that is about, but listen, if he is doing anything near what Sherlock Holmes does, he's about to tell us exactly what we don't see. The one and only Paul Skiff is here. Please unmute yourself, Jedi Master. Let the folks know where they can find you online. It's always great to see you. Please take it away.
Hey, thanks. Hi, everybody. I hope you got my sound coming over. The plastic box here was a little glitchy a few minutes ago. Well, I think one of these things mentions the word balance. I have probably 16 or 17 really short things. I'll just try to do them all. Riding the crest of a wave, the smile was flooded with balance that surfs on inertia to epiphany. Next is posing as a foreign custom, mi casa as su casa, shared openly with one and the same. Next is on cloud 9, mindless bliss was looking for where it had lost its head, but the insincere effort was a joke of the pleasure. Next is over the moon was not that far away from being down to earth, because really being out there is where awareness of limits would come to its senses. Next is happy as a lark, set loose the limits of human contentment. Next is special consideration from consequence, just in time, got a new lease on life at a moment's notice, just like that. Next is walking on air is the magic of being oblivious while needing to exercise detachment from humility. Next is the turn of phrase upset poetry snobs by showing its backside was informed by an antonym. Next is, in the waiting room of not so sure, commitment was kept by definitely maybe. Next is, awfully good impressed better than expected as being not bad. Next is, it hurts so good enjoys being a paradox masochist. The double edge of pleasure allows subordination to slice. Next is if, but, and when, debating multiple options while waiting for chance and the universe to decide, still controlled destiny until fate shows up to make the unknown back off. Next is a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, seduces greed with the virtue of temperance disguised as a smart bet persuasion makes out of settling for less. Next is Bliss was in high spirits, looking for transcendence, intoxicated by a goal whose revelation had its feet on the ground in a puddle of nirvana. Next is grinning from ear to ear, exaggerated self-satisfaction in a stretch only made imaginable by the need to mouth excess mirth. Next is consequentially careless, without a qualm, and willing to try anything. One way or the other, made a promise to dodge karma and make necessity real. And finally, but naked, had a lot to live up to make up for being so bass-backwards. Thanks, everybody.
This gentleman is a 100% complete anomaly. Unmute yourself. Give it up.
I mean, after years,
Yeah.
you think you know what to expect, but here's a whole nother side of Paul's gift,
Great,
man.
Paul. Always, it's
You
great.
know, we got all these epics, and now all of a sudden we got these
I
tight
know.
little gems,
That was
man.
cool, Paul.
Gem after
It was
gem
really
after
good.
gem.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Fantastic, Paul.
Mhm.
Yeah. Wow. What a move.
I mean, listen, like you said, Michael Siller, right? We're used to these long epics, and then he just goes rapid fire on people. Like, really? Really? We truly appreciate you, Jedi Master. And you don't just have to hear me say it, the community has let you know, right? So many points. Like that was like death of 1,000 needles right there. Just so many beautiful, poignant points. I mean, so many, just showing its backside was informed. Listen, a paradox, like seduces greed with the virtue of temperance. Really? Intoxicated by a goal? Intoxicated by a goal. That sounds like focus. That sounds like dedication. Made a promise to dodge karma, like the limits of human contentment, like the magic of being oblivious. Poetry snobs. Listen, if you don't know the Jedi Master, if you've never been to the Skiff Verse, make sure you're plugging in. That is one of the OGs of our community. He'll never let you down with blowing your brains. Appreciate you, Jedi Master. Coming up next, let the church say, God damn. This keeper of concrete is about to do what he does. Razor blade shave with. This poet has come on and joined our community and taken it to another level. Come on, Maze. You know what it is. Unmute yourself. The one and only CP Maze is in the building. Let the folks know where they can find you online. Come on, Maze. You know what it is. Take it away, folks.
First off, thank you all for giving me the birthday shout outs, CC who hit me up in the back, on the back text, like everybody who reached out and gave me a lot of birthday love. It really meant a lot. CP Maze, IG, Facebook, CP Maze. I thought about tonight's theme a lot, finding balance, self-care. And it got me into thinking about this wiry, like just spark plug. And I watched her do a poem in Florida. And I asked her if it would be an honor to cover her poem tonight. So I'm covering her poem tonight. Her name is Jessica Keene. And the poem is called Falling. And Jessica, I'm gonna try to do you justice. Falling. I ate today. Fork to mouth, chew, swallow. Anybody who tells you that this is easy has never stood close enough to an anorexic's frailty. People seem to think the answer is as simple as telling me to eat. Maybe it should be. I write it on my bathroom mirror almost every night, and I always say today I will. But anorexia is a delusion that lives in my mirror, looks back at me and says, if you were just a bit thinner, if you had just a little bit more control, maybe I could love you. It is a tapeworm tattooed across my waistline. I believe only I can see. Phantom taste of all things I was told I would never be good enough to have. It's a lie you choose to believe. Rib cage, wrist bone, femur. He said he loved the curvature of my jawbone, the way my spine would rise to meet him, and I loved the pain of loving him. Tangible like hunger, hollow like wing bones, feathers, shoeboxes. Who would choose this? Me? Me? Me. I've developed a fascination with birds, raptors, Halloween creatures, balancing hunger with the fear of falling, failing. Hunger, it's about as much control as it's about need. Eating is an automatic response of a body in motion. How could I, when I'm lying here, stagnant and nauseous, shamed for trading fleeting moments burning in the sun, for raging like supernovas, broken-winged angels, butterflies pinned to pages, blue morpho gone pale and sallow, for the fear of flying too high. Hungry kittens growl in alleyways. Hunger is an act of desperation. The last whisper of you are too beautiful for this from the lips of a failing God. It's a lot like falling in love. Obsession, desire, control, and it's painful. A lot like falling in love until you hit the bottom of that spiral and realize that you were starving. They don't make an awareness ribbon for this. It happens slowly, creeps up on you like frail shadows, clumps of hair in the shower. They will tell you anorexia is only fatal in the most extreme cases. This isn't really a disease so much as the cry for attention. The truth is that anorexia is the slowest most painful suicide you could ever wish for yourself. At 85 pounds, a 5'6" woman kidneys will fail her. This is no longer idle speculation. Today, I weigh 96. Today, I ate. Today, I told the monster that lives in my mirror to shut the fuck up. It felt a lot like falling in love. Poem, Falling by Jessica King. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
What the? Yeah, y'all heard that too. Unmute yourself. Get up for
Come on, poet.
Amazing.
That was
Fire.
And I'm sure it's
For the
going to
Black
move your
Madonna.
wife that you read
Amazing
that
delivery.
for her, because it's one thing for someone to read that and everyone to see yourself doing that about you, but that is so close to the bone that the justice you gave her by delivering that to us for her with tears in your heart. And I saw them dripping down there on the side over here. I know you can't see through that, but yes, you can. Yes. So I love you for doing that for everyone with anorexic and to destigmatize it. That was the stellar thing you did. You destigmatized it. You took the shame and the blame away.
Well said.
Gave the transcendence its due. So love you, man. Love you.
Beautiful.
That was a great comment.
Listen. This is. I continue to say this is the greatest community in the world, and you will see how it unfolds, how we love on each other, how we show appreciation for what we do. First off, the poet Mays said he was covering another poet, shout out Concrete Generation, right? And he delivered that poem, and it made us feel what the poet feels. Started off with something so simple. I ate today. I ate today. Sometimes the win is so simple. It's so simple, but we have to acknowledge it, right? Trying to deal with the delusion that lives in the mirror, right? A tapeworm tattooed on my waistline. Got here. Come on. Love the pain of loving him, right? Balancing hunger with the fear of falling. Like, from the lips of a failing God, like, realize you were starving. Like, there's so much in there, right? Past, present, and future, right? It really is a letter to the being that deals with a beast. Thank you for bringing that to us. And again, shining the light on such a dangerous, delicate subject. Appreciate you, Maze. Make sure you are plugging in with Maze real quick. Let me shout out a couple of folks. I see Undetermined Cause in the building. Appreciate you, Undetermined Cause. Really, truly. JT Shannon in the building. Always loving that cat's coming through. All right, Mary Lee Johnson. Hey, Mary Lee, appreciate you. Glad that you were able to come through. Principe, saw him come through as well. Melinda Lucas. Always appreciate you for coming through. All right, let's keep it going. Heard this gentleman just a moment ago, our resident musician. This gentleman likes to dabble with lyrics that he may not think is poetry, or maybe his poetry dabbling in his musicianship. I don't know. But this gentleman is incredible, no matter if he's sitting in front of the keys or not. The one and only CC Arshagra is here. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online, CC. Always appreciate you, man. Take it away.
Okay, yeah, it's just ccarshagra.com, and it's a website, and I try to take care of it. And I have my book. It's not in my hand, The Open Microphone. And the page where you can get it from broke down. So I got to call the GoDaddy and all that bullshit. But anyway, you can get the book from me. Just send me a message and we'll work it out. No problem. They're all here. I sign them and send them out. I'm not using the internet right now. I don't know why. So you're right about the lyrics. CP, thank you again. Paul, amazing as always. You know, and everyone that went before. Yes, Michael. Just love this community so much. And this is accidentally on theme, I guess, because I'll be there on Saturday. I don't know if I'll be able to make the island before that, but I'll be there Saturday night. And it's a time limit, so I'm only going to do a short piece. So this one's a little bit over 3 minutes. But you'll never be lonely again. And this is the very first week that I had to learn to play them without singing and playing at the same time. So for the last 2 days, I've been just trying to play it without singing it. And now I'm going to put the two back together again. So whatever happens, happens. But it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot. It's time to ask the question. Who do you share your alone with? If the answer is no one, everyone, and everything, you will never be lonely again. True sharing has no expectations. There's no sense of a debt owed or a debt involved. Nothing's overdue, nothing's hurt or angry, that's impossible. All disappointments in the end are held by you. The secret is the quiet of happiness. In the quiet of each and every mind alone. There's no need to believe that it's blame's fault. And there's no such thing as happiness cannot find you. It's okay to see the ways you can deny this. As the only thing that you will never question. It's okay that each and every moment lives here. Sure, death comes, but love itself lives on forever. It's time to ask the question. Who do you share your all alone with? If the answer is no one, everyone, and everything, you will never be lonely again. Love's hand always waits, here to catch you. Fear falls, hate has no net as you become creation. Dying is not real here. This is transcendence. You are honest as your truths die. And now here comes your next breath. So it's time to ask the question. Who do you share your all alone with? If the answer is no one, everyone, and everything, you will never be lonely again.
Yeah, he kind of does that. Yeah. Unmute yourself. Give it up for CCR Chandra.
Great job, CC.
Really hit the heart.
Great job, CC. Yeah, that's good.
Thank you, everyone.
More.
Well,
No time. Next poet.
that was beautiful.
CC, it's always refreshing to hear when someone brings something new. And I don't mean just a brand new piece of literature. I mean a fresh sound, a new sound, something that doesn't mimic someone else, right? And the beauty of what I hear about your work every time I hear it is that it's becoming more and more authentically CCR Chakra. It doesn't sound like you're trying to become Rachmaninoff. It's just CCR Chakra. And I appreciate that very much so, right? I don't think you were accidentally on theme. I think you were, destiny led you to the theme and the things that you shared this evening. Each and every moment lives here. I love that line because a world can be lived in a moment, right? Love itself lives on forever. Yeah. You'll never be alone again. Yeah. I appreciate that, really. You love no one, everyone, and everything. Yeah. Make sure you're loving yourself too. Thank you, CC. CC mentioned a book that he has. Make sure you are plugging in. He's been doing it and doing it and doing it well longer than some of us have been doing it. So make sure you plug in and learn a few things. Appreciate you, CC, for sharing all your incredible artistry with us. All right, coming up next, our resident party animal all the way from Minnesota, this poet. I love to see when this poet comes through, when they have time to come and rock with us, because their poetry is always so magnificent. The one and only Liz Minette is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online, Liz. Always great to see you. Please take it away.
Okay, I will put my contact information in the chat afterwards, but this is just one poem, and tentatively titled Beats. I walk up one service lane, then down another, past highway homes, portable CD player in my hand, Erykah Badu, Ani DeFranco, their heartbeat voices velveting my ears, framed by headphones. I walk alone in a town whose people border between farmer and bedroom community dweller. As well, I am the latter. Parentheses, by driving from this town to the next for work. Walking evenings, though, beautiful iridescent disc spinning, soundtracking these streets, my steps. Most people are inside, their monster flat screen TVs lit to Wheel of Fortune, home after home after home. Tell us what we've won. The sun is now setting at the border of this town, rich goodnight hues among massive clouds imitating mountains. Thank you.
I truly love when poets come through and just drop the heat on you real quick. It's like, I'll see you later. Unmute yourself, give it up for Liz.
Yeah, that was just boom. Exactly. Just
Nice, Liz.
getting it out. Just
Thank
great.
you, Liz.
Great.
Thank you.
Clouds imitating
Oh
mountains.
my goodness. If I hadn't told y'all before, to all the folks who are watching on social media, we truly appreciate you. But if I haven't told you before, you're rocking with the greatest community in the world. We have some of the greatest poets that do it. Some people do it, we do this. She mentioned walking with the heartbeat voices in her ear. That, you know, some people believe that music helps them move forward in their lives, right? For you to make it a heartbeat, that just makes so much sense to me, right? She said farmers and bedroom community dwellers. Like, what? Soundtracking these streets. Listen, I feel like there's no way to really walk the streets, right? Unless you're in New York, then you better be paying attention. But even then, when you're walking in New York, you still got a beat. You still got a rhythm to you, right? Soundtracking these streets. Absolutely. Tell us what we won. The TV zombies live everywhere, right? They walk all over the place. You got to make sure they get out of the way. Appreciate you, Liz. Make sure you're plugging in with Liz Minette, a mainstay of our community. Appreciate you, Liz. All right. Coming up next, we have a new voice coming to us for the first time. I am asking them to unmute themselves. Please unmute yourself. Let us know. First of all, welcome to the greatest community in the world. Without giving us a particular address, tell us where in the world you are located.
I'm from DC.
Okay, DC in the building. Welcome to the online open mic. You have found the crazy, the weirdos corner, the poets place where we get down. Let the folks know where we can find you online. Again, welcome to the greatest community in the world. Truly, please take it away. Welcome.
Thank you so much. So you can follow me on Twitter and TikTok and Instagram at the stories of Mina. I'll link it in the chat as well for you if you want to go follow me. So I'm presenting 2 poems. One is called Welcome to My World and one is called Courageous. My world is like a flower waiting to blossom. My world waits for the storms to come and the sun to follow. Some enjoy the sun, some enjoy the rain. I learned to enjoy both. Rain is often seen as sadness, while the sun is seen as happiness. Too much sun is not enough rain. Too much rain and not enough sun. You wish you had the sun when it pours down. You wish you had the rain to cool you off. Get rid of that sappiness. Understand you need both to grow. As I start, I see the life outside of my seed. I realize that I am a unique strain. I have found my reason. My roots start to spread as I venture out into the world and see the beauty of life as it is. Appreciate my time underground on surface. I understand the balance of life, to let things come as they do and let them go with the lesson. Struggles and success, I am the sun, rain, and my flower. Courageous. You are someone that deserves a life worth living. As much as you fall, you mustn't give up. Giving the world the light it needs to keep shining, you're the one who fills in the voice to keep others motivated. The voice everyone listens to for a successful outcome. That joyous impact you share naturally, you are meant to become something so great. You are in the introduction of your life, so don't expect all the answers to appear at once. Leaving your life in question develops an understanding of what it is to be alive. The path you are only meant to take. Everything will start to collide in front of you. It's okay. Stay calm and make it to your destination. In the end, you'll be that someone I told you that you were going to be. Thank you.
Oh, that's how you do it. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Rita.
Thanks.
Need a beautiful
Yeah.
introduction of the
Yeah.
that was great.
Intro.
Your voice.
Wonderful.
That was awesome.
Welcome to
Hope
the
you come back a
family.
lot. Yep.
That was
You
You
really
have to
good.
come back. You
Oh,
gotta come
Got
back.
a good road
yes.
ahead of you.
Representing DC
Sure, please come
too.
back.
Gotta love that.
So
Humility's a
cool.
good
come back.
road.
Lots of great,
Yeah.
great words.
That was awesome.
Listen, you hear the community buzzing. You heard some things. Listen, you may not have understand. You have just been welcomed into the greatest community in the world, right? You have just fucked up because you need to be here now every Monday. I don't know what your schedule looked like previous Mondays, but going forward, they need to be filled with the Monday night online open mic because this community looks forward to hearing from you. As the daughter of Krypton has said, you are one of us. Make sure you are putting your information in the chat so we can connect with you, right? Like flowers waiting to bloom. Listen, I think, you know what I mean? You might have just gotten the balance that you were talking about, right? Understand you need both to grow. I think you just got a little bit of both because you've definitely grown in your poetry in this instance. You are a unique strain. You are you. You have always been you, and we are thankful that you are sharing it with us. You are welcome in this space. Truly. Let things come as they do. Letting them go is the lesson. Oh my gosh. Listen, I don't know if y'all heard that, but that's what Amina said. Make sure you are plugging in with Amina. Welcome to the greatest community in the world. We truly appreciate you. All right. Coming up next. Oh my goodness. Vincent Price is in the building. Oh my gosh. This incredible poet, a mainstay of the Thursday night online open mic. Shout out Guitar Thursdays. Shout out Thunderlung Thursdays. We will get to the queen in a little bit. This incredible poet I call the Vincent Price of poetry. His voice is so on point. His storytelling is incredible. The one and only Ike Waltz is in the building, y'all. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online. Ike, it is great to see you on this side of Thursday night. Please take it away.
Thank you. So for what it's worth, we are all somehow infatuated with a machine. Our independence on or our dependence on a machine has developed into an obsession for a machine. Yes, we hold onto our AI devices like we used to hold hands with our beloved. And instead of a shy first kiss, we twitter or send emojis. This poem is about the bond between man and his Harley Hawk. The Harley Hawk is actually a common motorcycle. Or is it? Needlessly to say, considering the subject matter became alive during the 1960s, hence this poem contains language that may be unsuitable for the faint of heart. When Harley, Hawk, and Heaven burn in hell, roaring up the hawk, riding and soar, she's loose, she's free, it's heavenly sin. I am feeling hot. The God, after all, is me. I spruce her up, I polish her chrome. She is the custom ass I ride upon. You handle my touch as much as I am kicking you. I kiss my woman on the naked plank, between my knees a loaded tank. On my pillion a toot, my lady's chittering fits, riding fast and high, riding heaven and hell through lollipop sky. Under my helmet of steel, fate's tail, filthy wits, Highway 95, mile crunching insane, talk rain or sun poetry between two lanes. Son of a gun, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. It's scary so for Citizen Paul, Harry and old Mary. Fuck the obese police. I'm that poster boy of undiluted present joy. I like that pussy squeezing my crutch. I'm in high gear. Nothing is better than to write with a stiff, this poetic letter. Nothing is sexier than to put poetry through its paces. Nothing is mightier than knuckleheads and the womb of fire, Romium press, bones. I do. My dress coat, only bare bulging, leather-crested desire. Let me be responsible for the stream I make. After all, he aren't fake. I inhale the rubber I don't wear. Preparation H or H, I don't care. I am the man. I have the machine. Give it to me, my bitch. Body of metal, grease and muscle, with erotic skin. Potato pistons of dirty sin. We sleep over a puddle. Yes, in a puddle. I lick the ass of my honky-tonk machine. So squeaky, squeaky clean. I'm so mean, so filthy mean. No life without her pulse is racing. No worry, no mind, we don't know where to go. But wherever I go, pussy, kisses too. Screw it, brother. Let's write together. Be the baddest of the bad, and that against all. Driven by the horny wind, that lingering, exhausting stink. I am the bastard of my age. I'm the war I wage. So fuck the politics. I can't hear you tell. Will you sell? Will you sell? Let's rock and roll, bro. It's my death they smell, but I smell my chicken is drinking. It's my machine doing all that thinking. Can't you tell? My final resting place is no prison for my soul. I will be bedded, neither burned nor shredded in a raving and roaring display. At least I was so sexy, my awesome Twitter will say. Roaring up liberation, riding the mount horses on the loose. I am free. I throttle my hawk. I feel that God, after all, is me. No confession to make. Doesn't this poem sound that I intend to create balance and self-care in my work? Thank you.
I told y'all that dude does this. I told y'all. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Ike. Whoa!
Yeah,
Always.
awesome.
So
To the road.
profound, so deep, so
Amazing,
straight to
Micah.
the heart, just
Amazing.
everything.
So brilliant.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my
Not
goodness.
just
I'm sorry, Michael Sindler. Coming back at you. Please continue.
I'm
I
just saying,
apologize.
it's not just brilliant, it's the heart. You know, it's the compassion within all of it.
100%. Michael Sindler, really quick to back that up. Tell me why it's important to have that in your poetry. How does that convey, to your community? Why is that important?
Because compassion is the seed of all learning, all everything, if we're going to succeed as a species and be a successful part of this universe.
Thank you, Michael Sindler. Thank you, Ike Waltz, for being such dedicated community members and sharing your incredible artistry with us. Listen, I've said this before. Folks who know me know I have a Matrix poem. And for the folks who know me, I finally watched it. Finally watched the last Matrix. I will save my feelings for later. Infatuated with machines. It is one of those things, right? We live in the 21st century, right? It is truly, truly that. But thankfully, we do still have a community that will put poetry through its paces, like you do, right? He said, let me be responsible for the stream I made, right? The machine, my bitch. Listen, the moment that the machine becomes the pimp, we got a problem here, y'all. Hence the reason the Matrix was written. Hence the reason Terminator was written, right? I licked the ass of my honky-tonk machine. Really? It's my machine doing all the thinking. Damn it. Damn it. At least I was sexy though, right? And he said what humans believe the most. I feel, after all, God is me. Come on, Ike. Appreciate you, Ike Walsh, for coming through with all your incredible artistry. Again, a resident member of the Thursday Night Online Open Mic. Make sure you are plugging in with Thursday Night. Listen, before we move on, I am going to pass it to the dopest tech in the Zoomverse, the one and only Ron Mark Thompson, aka RMT. If you're not down with RMT by now, damn it, you should be. Ron, how you feeling this evening?
I am feeling okay. Great to be here with everyone in the community. Thank you, Elemental, for continuing to show your love to the community and hosting this wonderful Monday night online open mic, and all the extra work that you do during the week on the back end. Really, really appreciate it. And thank you for those wonderful teams, I'm sorry, themes, not teams, like the days and next week, fruits and vegetables. I'm like, oh my goodness, though, like I can't wait for this. So thank you. I am Ron Mark Thompson. I'm the tech assistant here in the background for both Monday and Thursday. I'm going to put in the chat that just in case anyone wasn't aware, we do live stream our online open mics on 3 platforms at the moment, which are Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, which some of you may have heard in news, has been renamed or will be renamed to X, and it will no longer be tweets, it will be X's. Don't ask me, I don't own Twitter, it's owned by someone else though, but as of now, it's still twitter.com/Neo-Rican Poets. You can still play back the videos of all of our past Monday and Thursday night online open mics, including the current one, as well as the monthly Beatniks online, which I'm going to get to in a second. And, in some other videos you can see there as well. So check us out. On that note, I'm going to put in the chat all of our other relevant links where you can reach and see what's going on at the Neo-Rican Poets Cafe, including, our ticket site, which Elemental told you at the beginning. You can just go to neorican.org, click on full events calendar, and there you may get your tickets for Mondays, Thursday, and all the other shows in person and online we present. Or you can just bookmark the ticket site link. You can contribute and donate to us. You can get merchandise. And I also included the social media handles for Elemental, Ray and our management team, La Brua and Nico, as well as Paul, who I also going to mention in a second. So as Elemental already mentioned at the beginning, currently we have 4 weekly shows at the Neo-Rican Poets Cafe in person, in addition to the online open mics, namely the Monday night online open mic, which is alternately hosted by Sol Preem and Felicia Cade. That happens every Monday, 8 p.m. at the Neo-Rican Poets Cafe, which is located on East 3rd Street in Manhattan, New York City. I know some of you, including those who are zooming in from out of town, you have been, you have visited and come to the Neo-Rican Poets Cafe. Liz Manette, I know you were there. I missed you. I'm so glad that all of you always have a chance, to go there. Remember though that later in the year we will be closing the cafe for at least 3 years to fully reconstruct it, because the building is old. We need to put an elevator in. We need to expand the stage area. We need to add workshop areas. but obviously we will not abandon you during those 3 years. More news will come in the next few months. Just stay tuned with us. But if you want to see the new Regan Poets Cafe in person, you will have to do it in the next several months before the end of the year. Wednesdays, I work at the new Regan Poets Cafe in the tech booth at the Wednesday night poetry slam, 8 p.m., which is alternately hosted by J Rose and the Bee. That happens every Wednesday except on the first Wednesday of the month, and I'll tell you why in a second. Fridays, we still have the poetry slam happening at 10 p.m. Eastern time, hosted by Jive Poetic, followed by the Twilight open mic hosted by Showway. That starts right after the poetry slam around 12:30 a.m., 1 a.m. On Saturday morning. So you have heard us tell you about that back by popular demand. The hybrid open mic is coming back for special summer show. This Saturday, July 29th, we open the doors at 7 p.m. and the show will start at 7:30 p.m. Hybrid means we're going to have half the performers on stage in the cafe and half the performers online via Zoom. So you already may purchase tickets for that show. If you go to our ticket site for the in-person, you can either get your ticket at the door or buy them online for $15. The sign-up to perform on stage is once you get in the cafe, there will be a sign-up sheet at the stage and you can sign up your name there. And by the way, that $15 not only will it give you 2 hours of hybrid open mic, but it will also allow you to stay for the karaoke after party, which will be hosted by Paul Concasso. That one starts at 10 p.m. It will not be in Zoom. That one will not be hybrid, but we will right after we end hybrid 9:30 p.m. We're going to take a little break and then 10 p.m. karaoke after party. Either sing to karaoke or bring your own original music. You're welcome to either. Now, if you want to perform on hybrid on Zoom, that one, get your ticket online in advance before Saturday. It only costs $5. That one, we will then send you the Zoom link for Saturday, and you can also perform. Elemen2al will tell you a little later tonight in a few minutes we're going to take requests to sign up for the online. I know some of you already have purchased tickets for the online portion. So we really look forward to welcoming you to the hybrid open mic, either in person or online. Also save the dates. The following week on August 5th, Saturday, in the evening in the cafe, our Monday night co-host, on-site host, Sol Preem, will be hosting a music/poetry showcase. It will consist of hip-hop musicians as well as the Bee is one of the featured performers. We are currently preparing the ticket event online for that, and we will share flyers with you as soon as we have it. And last but not least, at the end of August, Saturday, August 26th, we will have our last block party before we close the cafe this year. We had it last year. It was really amazing. We're going to have an open mic outside. We're going to have music. We're going to have performances. We're going to have a children's area. We're going to have vendors inside the cafe. So stay tuned for more news. If you can make it to Manhattan, New York City on Saturday, August 26th in the afternoon, 12 to 4 p.m., we welcome you there as well. All right, so much from me. After the next performer, we're going to hear from Ray Chain, just to let you know about Thursdays, especially for the newcomers here, and to reiterate that we really welcome you for the hybrid open mic. And I forgot, Ray Chain and Elemen2al will be co-hosting the hybrid open mic, and it will be hybridly co-hosted, if that is a word, because Ray Chain will be on stage in the cafe and Elemen2al will be online. So this is a new experiment we're doing it, but it'll be great because all of you have asked for hybrid to come back. So we really welcome you, And and I see CC, he messaged me that he met the Bee at the New Year. Well, actually, I hope the Bee is planning to come on Saturday. So for you who have not yet met our poetry slam host, the Bee, you just have to meet her in person or online. They are just amazing. All right, let us get to our next performer, Mr. Tessa Somok, zooming in from the West Coast. I know he probably will not be able to make it in person to the New Eureka Poets Cafe unless he has a big surprise for us. That would be nice, but I hope you can at least join us via Zoom on Saturday. Mr. Tess, let everyone know where we may follow you. I see you already put it in the chat. He has his Instagram handle, he has a book out, and he also runs a Facebook group. So join, whatever you can. He is just amazing. Mr. Tess, the floor is all yours. Welcome back.
Thank you, Mr. RMT. Thank you, Monday night New Eureka Poets Cafe audience and participants. You can follow me on Instagram under Gaseous2019, and you can get a copy of my book, I'm Not Your Chihuahua, from Amazon. I'm going to jump in with a piece titled The Hallucination of Art. Paradox. Art is a form of hallucination, but it's a more sophisticated form of hallucination than the kind that we experience in dreams. Art is also a way of exploring our inner selves and even a form of therapy. So, in a way, art is both a form of hallucination and a way of transcending hallucination. Henceforth, the paradox. Characters. Sigmund Freud was an Austrian neurologist and the founder of psychoanalysis. He was born in Freiburg, Monrovia in 1856. Freud's theories of the unconscious mind, dream interpretation, and the Oedipal complex have had a profound impact on psychology and culture. Second character. Maurice Merleau-Ponty was a French philosopher and a phenomenologist. He was born in Roquefort-sur-Mer, France in 1908. Merleau-Ponty's work focused on relationship between the body and the mind and the way in which we perceive the world. He was a major influence on the development of existentialism and phenomenology. Scene. A small cramped cafe in Paris. Freud and Merleau-Ponty are sitting at a table, drinking coffee and smoking cigarettes. Freud. So, you don't believe that art is a form of hallucination? Merleau-Ponty. Of course not. Hallucinations are false perceptions. They are created by the mind when it is not getting what it wants. Art, on the other hand, is a real perception. It's created by the artist's intention to communicate something to the viewer. Freud. But art can be a very subjective experience. What one person sees as beautiful, another person might see as ugly. How can you say that art is a real perception if it is so open to interpretation, Merleau-Ponty? Because the artist's intention is what gives art its meaning. The artist creates a work of art with the intention of communicating something to the viewer. The viewer then interprets the work of art based on their own experience and understanding. But even if two people interpret a work of art differently, they're both still experiencing the same real perception. Freud. But what about the somatic response that people have to art? When we see a beautiful painting, our heart rate goes up and our palms sweat. That's the same somatic response that we have when we're hallucinating. Merleau-Ponty. That's true. But it doesn't mean that art is a form of hallucination. The somatic response that we have to art is simply a sign of emotional engagement with the work. When we see a beautiful painting, we're moved by it. We feel something, and what emotional response is what gives art its power. Freud. I see. So you're saying that art is a real perception that has the power to move us emotionally? Merleau-Ponty. Exactly. Art is a way of communicating something to the viewer that goes beyond words. In a way, it's a way of tapping our emotions and our unconscious. That's why art can be so powerful. Freud. I'm not convinced. I still think that art is a form of hallucination. But I'm willing to concede that it is a more sophisticated form of hallucination than the kind that we express in dreams. Merleau-Ponty. That's fine. We don't have to agree, but I think that you're missing something important about art. Art is not just a way of satisfying our pleasure principle. It's also a way of exploring our inner selves. It's a way of coming to terms with our desires and our fears. Freud. I'm not sure I understand. Merleau-Ponty. Well, think about it. when we see a work of art that we find disturbing, it's often because it's tapping into something that we've repressed. The work of art is forcing us to confront our fears and our desires, and that's a good thing. It's a way of coming to terms with our inner selves. Freud, I see. You're saying that art can be a form of therapy. Marlupon, in a way, maybe. Art can help us to understand ourselves better. It can help us to come to terms with our fears and desires, and that can be a very therapeutic process, Freud. I'm intrigued. I have to think about this some more. Marlupon, I'm glad. I think that you'll find art is a very complex and fascinating phenomenon. Freud, I'm sure that you're right. The two men finish a coffee and cigarettes. They stand up and leave the cafe. As they walk down the street, Freud turns to Merleau-Ponty. Freud, you know, I think you're right. Art is not a form of hallucination. It's something much more than that. It's a way of communicating, a way of exploring our inner selves, and even form of therapy. Merleau-Ponty smiles. Merleau-Ponty, I'm glad you see it my way. The two men continue walking away, lost in thought and peace.
Whoa, okay. Everyone unmute yourself, please, and give it up for Mr. Tess.
That was so fun,
great.
Tess.
That's really great.
Yeah, that was
I love
That
that
was
so
really
much.
yeah.
I really love that.
The format.
That was good.
Yeah, you're a playwright now. Too late.
Yes, yes, that was amazing. And even though it was like in play format and stage play format, it wasn't time tacos that we got this time. It wasn't a guitar song, but I think we got a test talk, which we haven't heard for quite a while. So that was quite interesting how you put all these real life, characters, together, and everything that you did. So this is just amazing. You're doing so many amazing things, Mr. Taz. I don't know if we met you in person yet. I think you're one of the few from mainstays from the very beginning of our online world 3 years ago that we haven't met yet. So I hope we're gonna get the chance, soon. So thank you, Mr. Taz. That was amazing. All right. As I was listening to Mr. Taz, and this is why I always marvel at both Rachel and Elemental, how they can host and listen to every performance and deal with things in the background, the tech things, messaging things. That was just amazing. But I did see in the chat Mari mentioned the price for the hybrid open mic. It actually is the same online in advance or at the door, $15, with the only difference that online you pay an extra $1.50 for the handling fee, because the ticket site is not owned by the New Regan Poets Cafe. It's a third-party ticket site. So Marty, if you want to save a little bit money, then just pay at the door. You can pay with your credit card or in cash, and we still welcome you. So I know you've been trying to come to the city for like last year when we first did. So you better be there this Saturday. Otherwise, I'm gonna find you on the social media somewhere. We want to see you in person, though. But again, for everyone who cannot come to the city on Saturday, it is a hybrid open mic, which means you can also go and join us via Zoom. So on that note, I'm going to ask someone else to join us via Zoom right now. She's been here since the beginning. I know she's been busy working in her other job, but this week we also have the pleasure of seeing her twice, one time online on Thursday and on stage on Saturday. Rachel, let everybody know what's going on this week with you.
Hey, greetings, family. I am Ray Jane. I'm the host of the Thursday night online open mic. I'm dropping that in the chart for anyone who's interested and just didn't get enough of the love tonight. We know, shout out to our hostess with the mostest, Elemental. It's always an honor to be with you and hear you do your thing. Shout out to all the poets who are filling this space with love and compassion, as was said earlier, because that's what this is about. All right. If you want a little bit more of that, you can follow us. You can find us on Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern in the Zoomverse, different Zoom address, but same destination in love. You can find your way to the neweurekan.org 24 hours ahead of time. So same sign up rules. So same way you sign up on Sunday at 8 p.m. to spit here at 8 p.m. on Monday, you come to the New York and sign up on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern to come and share with us at 9 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. And what's nice is we also have something called the Good Luck Round. So if you forget all that or you don't follow us yet, right? So we definitely put all that information in the chat so you can follow us if you forget. Just show up. We have some space usually for those folks who, you know, just wanted to be in the space and wanted to be heard. And we want to hear you. Your words, your experience matters so much to us. We hope that we see you on Saturday. Again, this is something for the community. This was a demand of the community, not of us. We don't put ourselves up here to be honored, to be, you know, worshiped or anything like that. We don't even want you to see us. We want you to see yourselves, right? And everything that you do, we're here to uplift, because that is the content of our characters. And that will be and always will be the truth. And we hope that you see that of us and you know that of us. And if we have the chance to embrace you in person, that would be our privilege as well. So if you're going to be around Saturday after the New York City Poetry Festival, please do come through. If you're going to be around Sunday, come back to the New York City Poetry Festival. Myself, Generalissimo, Terry Rose Jerson, Shocky G. We're going to be presenting some poetry on the Algonquin stage. So please do come out. Either way, we hope to see you, whether it's here in the Zoom verse or in the real verse, whatever that is, right? We love you, and I hope that that is at the top of your minds when you think of us. It's just that truth. Peace to you. Keep on being amazing, because you just show up that way. Peace, guys.
Thank you so much, Ray Jane. See, this is why we love, and even if I didn't work on Mondays or Thursdays, you know, in the back end, I would just show up and attend and participate, because if you haven't been to a Thursday night on open mic, this is exactly what Ray Jane does. She uplifts, she motivates us, she spreads love, and this is what the important thing. Elemen2al has his own energy on Mondays as well as on Thursdays, but Ray Jane is like, you know, I come there to get, you know, the love. This is why we're here for the community. And if you have never seen Ray Jane in person, come on Saturday after the Poetry Festival, and you see how busy she is at the Poetry Festival on Sunday. You know, she also works at Art Defined, The Word is Right, and she has another job that she doesn't usually talk about. You know, you can ask her yourself. She is just amazing. Thank you, Ray Jane, for everything that you do, you know, to keep us here, to keep us uplifted. We appreciate it, you know. Yes. Oh, there's one more. Hold on. Let me unmute her.
Sorry, I don't mean to take time away, but again, this is about lifting, right? Unselfish, right? Always. So we also have another show, Propaganda, put into the chat, where we will be performing in person again with James Spoken Word, Billy Tuggle, Thomas Fukaro. I'll be on the bass Monday, July 31st. Tickets are available on Eventbrite. If you need to know, follow Propaganda. He's got the link tree in there. We just want you to know all the places you can find love everywhere that we're at, okay? Thank you again. Sorry, just one more thing.
No, I love this, and this is what the beauty. And you mentioned that the last Thursdays as well. We are not selfish, you know. We're here Mondays and Thursdays. We have a few other programs in person at the cafe, but there are so many others, you know, where everyone here can spread their poetry, their songs, you know, their feelings, you know, do everything. So yes, Monday evening, even though it will be at the same time that Elemen2al and I will be here on the online open mic, but no, we don't mind if you guys, you know, go to Jane Spoken Words and Propagandas, you know, after party, you know, because that's going to be the only time that everybody is together, you know, because it is the special poetry festival in New York City. So share the space, and I know we're going to see you the following week again. So thank you, Rachel, and you're just amazing. We love you. Yay. So glad to be working with you. All right, let us go to our next performer, Ngoma Hill, who I actually saw at the Poetry Festival last year for the first time, and I have seen him in person many other times. names. I'm gonna actually rename him to his name and Ngoma, so that way his email address is not in the Zoom display name, because I know there was an issue with renaming yourself in the beginning. But Ngoma, is so good to have you back. Let everyone know where we may find you, and if you want to try the music, I know you and I were talking. If not, we'll try it another time. But if you want to try it and just to see if it works, I'll let you know. If not, let's hear what you brought otherwise. And are you there? Hold on, let me make sure. Nope, you got muted again. Let me ask you to unmute again. Okay.
Yeah,
How about now?
we'll do the music some other time, because since I wasn't sure, I didn't want to try to take up time trying to figure it out right now. I'm going to do a poem for two people in particular. There are two Black revolutionaries. One who has passed is Mutulu Shakur, who was Tupac Shakur's uncle, and another one, his name is Ruchell McGee. Ruchell McGee, I don't know whether people know about it, but back in California, he was one of the people that tried to save George Jackson and tried to release him from prison. And he's been in prison all these years, 67 years to be exact. So, but this poem is called a poem. This is for Mutulu Shakur, who recently passed on July the 6th, and for Ruchell McGee, who was recently released after being in prison for 67 years, okay? This is a poem for the absent-minded. There's some rumbling in the air that says you just don't care, saying you just think we should forget about it. Living in a guilty of selective amnesia, but I'm not trying to forget. Maybe that's why I was sent to jar your memory, hoping that the truth will set you free. After all, we weren't slaves before they brought us here, planting seeds of fear, using the Bible, the lash, and the gun, erasing the memory of where we've come from, flipping scripts so you won't know about Asa, Set, and Haru, the original Trinity, distorting us with his story instead of truth. That's why I remind you of Sojourner, Nanny and Nzinga, Ned and Shaka Zulu, Fannie Lou and Tubman too. Now they're turning in their graves, because in this modern day society, not much has changed as we are fooled. Chains removed from arms and legs, but wrapped around your brain in denial of the matrix. See, I remember civil rights. I remember when we stood up to fight. I remember Black Power and Black Panthers with shotguns on the courthouse steps. I remember Imamu Amiri Baraka and Simba Wachunga too. That's why I write these poems to you. I remember Black Fist held high. For each Black man's eulogy, a pig would die. Violence is as America, Kakan as apple pie. Quoting H. Rap Brown, aka Jamil Abdullah Alameen, now in Supermax. I remember Watts and Newark too. BLA, Asada, and new African freedom fighters who fought for me and you. I recall George and Jonathan Jackson. I write this poem for Fred Hampton, murdered while sleeping in his bed. Chicago pigs filled him full of lead. I remember Geronimo Pratt. Now let's get down to the bare facts. America is in denial that there are Black freedom fighters here, but there are at least 69, and I'm not talking sex. There's plenty of reasons to be vexed. No telling who they'll lock up next. I'm not talking about your everyday criminal, but those who made a conscious choice to stand and fight, framed about the viciousness of COINTELPRO, chained up, locked down, never seeing daylight. Some in solitary confinement 40 years or more. No contact with the outside world, nor human touch. Locked away longer than Mandela. Locked away longer than those convicted of the laws called Rockefeller. I remember when Philadelphia's no good moved on John Africa and the Move family. See, a lot of you have forgotten about Mumia Abu Jamal. He's only one of many standing tall behind the wall, like Oscar Lopez Rivera, Ruchell McGee, Sekou Odinga, Russell Maroon Schultz, the Angola Three, Lynn Stewart, Mutulu Shakur, Jalil Mutakim, Leonard Peltier, Herman Wallace, and Abdul Majid, just some of the new African warriors captured that need to be freed. So now you've been informed. And since you heard some of the facts, I'll give you the contacts. Here's what you can do. Contact the Jericho movement, jerichony.org. So I kind of wanted to do two poems. We got time for another one. I just recently had a birthday. Ray Jane came to my birthday thingamajig. I think I could read this since I'm now 78 years old. So I'm celebrating. My birthday was on Tuesday. I'm celebrating still. This is called Funny Thing Is. I never thought much about growing old. Didn't realize that I was until in a group discussion with young poets. I mentioned that I went to high school and college in the Jim Crow South before integration. We actually had teachers that cared. We didn't wear jeans to school, it just wasn't allowed. We never thought it was uncool. In fact, we birthed the cool. Male teachers wore suits and ties, and women teachers wore skirts and dresses. You could tell the teachers from the students, and people dressed up when they went to church. In fact, church was like a fashion show. Everyone wore their best. I never argued with Dad about whether or not I could use the car. We didn't have a car. In fact, I remember before Rosa Parks, we rode in the back of the bus. We debated much more serious issues like integrating schools and the fact that I never really wanted to go to school with white people. It wasn't that I disliked them. It's just that all my friends were Black and that they were foreign to me. None lived in my neighborhood. Going in their neighborhood could get your ass kicked and vice versa. Besides, my high school marching band was the best in the state. We didn't play Sousa. We rocked the hits like Hit the Road, Jack, and danced the wobble and the jerk. I grew up on Saturday night doo-wop and Sunday morning gospel. I learned harmony beneath the streetlights. We sang songs like In the Still of the Night. After graduation, we didn't try to dodge the draft. It would have been an embarrassment to the family. Besides, my mom worked as a secretary for the government. It was one of the better jobs for colored people, although the water fountains and restrooms were still segregated. I walked picket lines in the 60s. My dad was a plaintiff in the Brown versus Board of Education suit. He got fired from his job for it. We integrated theaters, stores, and lunch counters and churches too. Some white kids joined, but they were mostly into peace and love. We grew into Black Power. Stokely Carmichael became Kwame Ture. Leroy Jones became Imamu Amiri Baraka. I became Ngoma. I was an infantryman in Vietnam long before hip hop. We wore afros and Converse before Adidas shell tops. I told you, me and Miles, we birthed the cool. After Nam, heroin was king. Panthers and Simbas owned the night until COINTELPRO. Fred Hampton and Bobby Hutton lay in their graves, soldiers coming home in body bags. Funny thing is, I never thought I'd live long enough to grow old.
Oh my gosh, y'all heard that, right? Unmute yourself, give it up for Ngoma.
Oh man, we just ain't got words for that. There's nothing you can say.
Incredible.
Oh my God, man.
What a history lesson.
Happy birthday.
Massive history lesson.
Happy birthday.
Live and learn.
Yeah, blessings. Blessings.
Yeah.
Happy
birthday,
Ngoma.
I didn't get the invite.
Listen, be buzzing more so than a damn beehive in here. Shout out to B, C4 in the building. Listen, that is what OGs do. They come and remind us how far we've come. I heard you say a number. I don't believe that shit. All right, I don't believe that. I heard you say a number. I don't believe that, okay? Because I know people half that age who don't go half as hard as you do. Trust and believe, right? Half of the folks who are half your age would hope to be half as dope. Really? He said this for Matulu. I don't know if you know who Matulu is. Matulu, McGee, or Shaka Zulu. Do your research. All right. H. Rap Brown, right? In denial of this matrix. Black fist held high, 1968. Mexico City. Do your research. Fred Hampton, Geronimo Pratt, Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture. Come on, Bobby Hutton. Do your research, folks. And don't forget about Mumia or the Angola 3 or every single person who went to high school and college in the Jim Crow South. He said, in fact, we birthed the coup. Little known fact, my oldest son is named after the cat that he said he and him birthed the coup. And how crazy is this? Destiny intervening, my son is a horn player. Happens, man. Happens, man. Appreciate you, Ngoma. Shout out Oshun Oyen. Peace and blessing to the earth that rotates, the planet that is Ngoma, the planet that is Oshun Oyen. Truly appreciate both of you for all that you do. If you are not plugged in with Baba Ngoma, make sure you are. Real quick, two things. First of all, make sure you unmute yourself. Give it up for Ron Mark Thompson.
Great job, Ron.
RMT.
Love you.
Yeah, man.
Thank you guys for the continued support. Really appreciate you all.
Listen, y'all. I know y'all don't see RMT as much as I do, but there are a few of us that truly love our community. Right? This is not about dollars and cents. This is about building our community, right? To reiterate what the Queen said, this is about building our community and ensuring that we are here week after week to ensure the lights are on, to ensure that the doors are open. So everyone in this building, everyone on Zoom, everyone watching on YouTube or Twitter or Facebook, this is a safe space for you. We are here for you week after week to hear you. Ron is a major part of that. Thank you, Ron, for all that you do. So for the folks in the Zoom room, if you would like to get down with us on hybrid, again, unfortunately, but hey, it's the evolution of things. There is a cost involved. If you would like to be on the list for hybrid coming up this week, there are 4 spots that we are opening up for Monday night. If you are not able to get on this on Monday, we are opening up 4 more on Thursday. But if you would like to get on the list for the hybrid, make sure you send Ron Mark Thompson a DM to let us know that you would like to be on the list, because it is definitely open and we are hoping that all of you come through and rock with us on hybrid. All right. Before we get to the next poet, let me shout out a couple of folks. Yeah, we coming at you, Prop. Don't worry about it. Real quick, shout out to Daughter of Krypton. Always appreciate Finbell coming through. If you are not familiar with Finbell and all they do, shout out PGN. Make sure you are plugging in with them. Joski C. Oh my gosh. If you do not know Joski C and his incredible rhythms, make sure you are plugging in with Joski C. I'm telling you, he makes Guitar Thursdays pop. I continue to say the week is not right till we get a Joski C song. Trust and believe. Marsha Rivera is in the building. Miss Brimlow herself. Shout out Marsha Rivera. Listen, that poet, incredible. Appreciate that poet. Love that poet. Hope they come through more often. All right. Coming up next, brother all the way from the West Coast, but is about to be in a city near you. The one and only propaganda poet is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you, Prop, because listen, your tour is in motion, man, for real. Please. Always great to see you. Take it away.
Well, they'll find me at, I heard there's something coming up next Saturday, hybrid something or other. I think I'm going to try and show up for that. And I'll be at Governor's Island on the White Horse stage on Saturday at 2, sharing the stage with K.R. Morrison and Matthew Hubert and some other just ridiculously amazing poets. So swing on by. And then Monday night, there's an Eventbrite thing. I'll post that as well. And I was gonna do balance, but then you switched the theme to community. So I'm gonna do this instead because it's important that we remember everything that has come before us, and so we can build everything that's coming after us. Because next steps don't happen if you don't respect where you came from. So okay. Now, I wish I could tell you how to step off because I'm about to burn you with the friction of my addiction. Because recently the Supreme Court made a decision based solely on one religion, which is really just a front for this patriarchal prison. And I'm getting really fucking tired of fighting oppressive systems. So I've been hitting a wall, y'all. And this run block shit has got me feeling small, y'all. Because I'm supposed to be able to smith my words and craft my style. Because there for a while I thought that I needed to be heard, but maybe I just needed to hear myself think. So I could gather my thoughts like a gathering of nations without the hesitation of a society of convenience where everything is supposed to save our time, but nothing ever seems to get done. So run, rat, run, because that's how things are done these days. Push through the maze, push through the haze, learn to breathe through the days, learn to see through the days of this 8-week overtime craze, or learn to become nothing but suicide slaves. In the land of the supersized and the home of the slum, there ain't no time to grow old, because you ain't allowed to be young. Well, I intend to fight fire with a sharply honed tongue, but poetry is more than poet me. It's poet you, and poet true. Having the courage to turn this soapbox into a platform so that we can shine the light to the shitstorm and the norm, because true enlightenment has found that this shit right here, all the shit going on in the background, this shit ain't normal. But they're blocking our rights like a decaying bridge to true freedom, just waiting to collapse under our train of thoughts. So they're trying to train our thoughts by taking away from our schools music, theater, and art, but we sure can fill in bubbles with number 2 pencils. Just marketing stencils for future marketing status quos, and I really don't know where this is going to go, because lately my flow has been hitting a wall, and this wall stands tall, like the one that leaves us all imprisoned in religion shopping malls, instead of kicking it in the halls of karma, where good deeds actually still mean something. Instead of just being a list of things to do to get your soul through in hopes that someday you might get to earn those wings, but there is still something that we can't quite grasp, and we are being trained to be afraid to ask because they don't want us to know that we were all born with these wings and the ability to sing. No, they'd rather have us kissing some false idol's ringleader of a kiddie porno ring, and they say that he's closest to God. Well, what's it going to take for us to recognize that all we got to do is just drop all this shopping and step out the door, stop talking when we pray, and learn to listen some more. But alas, this too shall pass, so I'm going to kick back on Monday nights and Thursday nights and listen to some poetry and smoke some more grass and try to pass through these bricks of ego and this mortar of fear, because you see, I don't come here as often as possible on every Monday and Thursday night, and then like the Saturday at Hybrid, I believe I'm going to be there as well, just to listen, just to hear spit. I come here to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and sit down and shut up, because I'm tired of banging my head on this wall, and I'm sick of feeling small. You see, I came here tonight. I literally just pulled in. Like, I got done on my tour in the Bay Area. I literally just pulled in the driveway, ran up here, turned on, and did this. But I didn't come here tonight just to. I came here to hear, and I plan on blocking my rights by listening to you all. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for who you are, and thank you for encouraging my behavior.
Yes, sir. We will continue to encourage your behavior. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Propaganda Poet.
Yeah.
Amazing.
One more in this like string of truth bombs tonight.
Whoa. Yes.
That's a great one.
Just boom, boom, boom.
And New York City and New Jersey will continue to encourage your behavior when you come
Yes,
next.
we want to encourage it all we can.
Bet that. Bet that. Bet that. For real, also bet that. Listen, and I told y'all from the onset, right? This is the greatest community in the world, and we continue to show you why. He said, I had another poem in mind, but since you mentioned this, I'm going to switch it up on y'all real quick, right? I've been hitting the wall. Getting writer's block. Nothing ever seems to get done. Hence the reason they call us, right? Nothing but suicide slaves. Man, come on. Like that's an entire poem. What? Poet true. Yes. Listen, if a poet's not true, you're in the wrong business. Turn this soapbox into a platform. Welcome to the soapbox, people. We have been trained to be afraid to ask. That is so on point, also, truly. Because the more we ask questions, the more we reveal the lies that have been fed to us, right? And if we stop talking when we pray, we might actually learn a few things. Appreciate you, man. Listen, I continue to say this cat will teach you something inside and outside of his classroom. Shout out to the educators in the world. Listen, they are our beginning and end. Appreciate you, Oso. Make sure you're plugging in with Oso. He is going on his East Coast swing. For real. Plug in with Oso. All right. Where did Captain Flo go? There he is. Shout out Mama Flo before I get started. Coming up next, this next poet, the author of Emotional Defibrillator, has come through in our community and brought all the heat. Listen, again, I continue to say I love poets who have their flow locked in, and this one definitely does. The one and only Captain Flo, Daniel Fernandez, is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you and how they can get your manuscript. Always great to see you, man. Please, take it away.
Hello. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Reddit. I put my links tree in the chat. You can find Emotional Defibrillators on there, on Amazon. Feel free. For today, ended up having a quick change of plans because I did have one on theme that's called Finding Balance. But the thing is, I was using my lunch to write the last couple stanzas and forgot to put it on my notes. So I have to perform that one next week and perform one that I did recently, which is a continuation of Eminem's song Stan. So Stan Part 2. It is breaking up with the hooks though, but to keep it under 3 minutes, I'll just fly through them without the hook. So here we go. Stan Part 2. Dear Slim, it's been a while. I had to recover from the accident. I drove off the bridge. Hopefully you know what that represents. I had my girl in the trunk and was unable to save her. I ran out of air and wanted to come back later. I was drunk off the vodka and was fucking pissed over you ignoring me. It's been almost a year now, as if you're overseas. I wrote letters from the heart, but of course you must be busy. Getting high, fucking, or buying groceries. I wanted to drown, honestly, but I didn't want to die so soon. I can't believe that shit ended up on the news. You probably saw that shit and became amused. Neglecting a fan like me? Fuck you. Go hang yourself in a noose until your body gets loose. Dangle like a chandelier as your neck starts to bruise. Kicking and swinging, trying to refuse. But no, bitch, dwell on it until your soul is removed. Bonnie died with her mom, so soak that shit up. You're responsible for me killing who I once loved. Did you listen to the tape covered in blood? Pain for me is a rush. I mentioned it before, so don't be stunned. Dear Slim, I got your last letter. It took some time though. I changed my address since the cops are starting to show. I came back to pack my stuff before I had to go. I burned the pictures I ripped off the wall from a while ago. I got the signed starter cap, but I threw it out. You saying I'm the one with issues. How about in your house? Uncle Ronnie forcing himself to the clouds, killing himself for not having a girl around. You talk and talk, but it's just bullshit out of your mouth. I love your music. You're lucky is something I can't live without. I have scars on my wrist from the times I needed to. I don't need counseling, bitch. In fact, you do. You're the one who complains about how people are treating you. Deal with the reality, Slim. We are hiding from our wounds, pushing days through to filter the mood, distracting a moment so that existing doesn't conclude. I wanted to be together, but that was the past. Just to chill and laugh, hanging out, having a blast. But now I'm mad. How's my girl? I'm glad you asked. She died in the crash. My life flashed as the memories gashed. I threw her clothes in the trash and carried my stuff in a bag. You don't care about me because to you, I'm a walking autograph. Dear Slim, all this time and you still don't fucking call. I gave up on that last fall. Matthew still listens to your new shit. My brother doesn't understand how my letters had no influence. You're a big dog now and on top of the world like a jet. You're the GOAT, according to the internet. With diamond and platinum albums, you're practically the best. I lost respect but still have your name across my chest. This is my last fucking letter. I had to perfect it for good measure, trying to be nice, thinking you're clever, saying you were busy like a director. I trusted you, but that's what happens when you put effort into meeting your idol and the love flattens. I was surprised and livid on your belated reaction. We could have been friends, I could only imagine. God knows how many letters I sent. I screamed at the man once for not being present. I lost my sanity because of my reverence towards you. I'm a writer now, it's all I know how to do. I'll do my own thing because that's what you did too. This is Stan, signing off to exclude. Thank you.
I mean, damn, Stan, like that's how you write a damn letter. Stan, unmute yourself.
Well
Give it
done,
up
brother.
for
Well
Daniel.
done.
Yeah. Good stuff, Daniel. Really, really good
Thank
stuff.
you.
I'd love to hear his response.
Listen. The only thing missing from that poem is Dido singing in the background. That's it. The storm sounds, right? First of all, Stan was just an incredible track. And for you to even step into that realm with a master like Eminem, to even go into that, right? Such a situational piece, such a textural piece, right? About how it even started, right? I sent you a tape covered in blood, right? Did you listen to the tape, right? It's something about that, right? Again, that just goes to show the different levels of mastery that Eminem went into his writing, right? It was an inception inside an inception, right? And those types of things allow you to do what you did, right? Allow all of us to go and take time to unpack all those things, right? Said I changed my address since the cops are starting to show, right? But I think one of the things that spoke loudest to me was you said, you're lucky is something I can't live without. And that can go into so much more than just music. But thank you, Daniel, for bringing that heat to us. And we're looking forward to what you were going to share this week, next week. So make sure you bring it through. Again, shout out Mama Flo. Appreciate you. All right, coming up next, our resident micro triptych travel agent is in the building. This poet continues to come through with just some incredible poems. Not the lengthiest of things, right? So make sure you are paying attention to the one and only Nemo Zoom in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online, Nemo. Always great to see you, man. Please take it away.
Thank you so much, Elemental. And you can find me at nemozoomwords.com. You can download my book and you can find my social media links there. I am going to be reading a micro triptych, which is 3 thematically connected micropoems. I was blasted with cosmic rays. When I woke, my eyes glowed, and I could make everyone in my life happy. I must have caught it from just the right angle, turned a bit faster than I was meant to, and I saw the seam just behind her ear. And when she turned back, I realized that her eyes were different colors. Always had been. I'd just been too distracted to notice before. And her cheeks were different sizes, attached by pipes of different gauges. The one that held the upper portion of the left side of her face was polished chrome. It laced in and out of copper and iron and some polymer they make in some chemical plant in a dark corner of where my bad brain lives. When she spoke again, the telltale ticking of her tongue betrayed that the words that left her mouth were just an echo of something once said, once heard, and somewhere recorded to be remembered later. Personal pachyderms, compact in peanuts, capable of processing those problematic memories randomly accessed. To make an array, attach trunk to mother tail, and send a search for water, dust jacket included. Thank you.
I told y'all about our resident travel agent. Unmute yourself, give it up for Nemo Soon.
Oh, Nemo. Oh.
That was wonderful.
Thank you.
Shout out, all of the poets, the gorilla poets in the building. Listen, take care, Ike Waltz. I truly appreciate when Nemo Soon comes through. And if you don't know what Nemo Soon means, look it up. Like when I first found out, I was like, oh, this guy is something else, man. Listen, I truly believe you have been blasted with cosmic rays that have made you an incredible poet, sir. So we truly appreciate you for coming through. Too distracted to notice before. Yeah, sometimes we do, right? We get too distracted by our world and our life to notice who we really are and who we're supposed to be, right? And not so much in some dark corner where my bad brain lives, right? But in the corner where your poetry lives bright. Thank you, Nemo, for sharing it with us. We truly appreciate you. Make sure you're plugging in with Nemo Soon. All right, final 6, folks. Let's get it. Coming up next, this poet is cool as the other side of the pillar, telling you in the real world or on Zoom, the one and only Complicated Passions, aka Samuel Rain, is in the building. Unmute yourself, bro. Let the folks know where they can find you online. Always great to see you. Come on, man. Take it away.
Online right here at the New York on Mondays and Thursdays. Some of the dopest shows online you can find. Right into it. There's something about you. Looking into your eyes, I've found myself in a spell. To think of you has my heart pounding for love far away. The calling of my hunger is for surrender that won't let go. Feel this impression. My thoughts upon your mind, it will move you like a butterfly. Seeing your love through these eyes, passionately sense my emotions to say these very words. Love me now and forever be that temptation. Yes, look into these eyes. Find them like a sea of lost ships. My feelings, a horizon beyond the sight of the reality my world has become. In this moment, these emotions are like an unpredictable storm, building, raging, longing for the calm, the one thing that comes with the peace your love will bring. Yes, there's something about you. You are that impulse filling my thoughts. Your words send my love to another world. I am enslaved by the emotions of my own desire, a love of the same mind, a mirror reflection of what my life would be. Taken by the urge, I was lured by the attraction, my hunger for passion. And yes, I will always be an advocate of words, an elemental so deep, it led me to a Ray Jane experience. And like in Goma Hill, I'll be too dope for comprehension. And did I forget to mention, I am Complicated Passions, the voice behind this pen. Thank you.
I told y'all that cat is cool in the movie. Unmute yourself, give it up for complicated fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thomas here.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
That's cool.
I don't know if that worked. That's Thomas on the phone.
Listen, man. These cats right here, I'm telling you, these cats right here continue to take it to another level with every poem. Right? He said, I found myself in a spell. That's every week. That's every poem, every poet. We find ourselves in a spell, right? He said, seeing your love through these eyes, very different from seeing love through anyone else's. Seeing your love through these eyes, the eyes of a poet, very different. Forever be that temptation. Right. Your words send my love to another world. Man, you got to be careful with that. You got to be careful with telling people that, man. For real. That makes you a space traveler. That makes you an astronaut. Love's astronaut. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Samuel Rain Benjamin. Appreciate you, Complicated. Make sure you are plugging in with Complicated. If you have a manuscript, he can definitely help you produce it. For real. Appreciate you. All right. Coming up next, this poet, I truly, truly love when this poet comes through. Took a small hiatus, but it came back to us, and I'm sure they are ready with the heat that the only Marty brings. The one and only Marty is here. Come on, Marty. You know what it is. Let these folks know what it is. Take it away.
Hey, everybody. You can find me on Instagram, Diamonds in the Abyss. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone in person. I'm at the open mic on Saturday. So I wrote this poem today called My 1 Ton Life. Every day I disrobe the tangible elements of life and stand on the broken, unbalanced scale of society and stare in the mirror and weigh myself. Some days I scrutinize each tear as they fall, imagining that they are shooting stars that could grant my wish of taking away the weight of some of these burdens. Even when my tears filled 40-gallon pails, I still weighed a ton. Every day I disrobe the tangible elements of life and stand on this broken, unbalanced scale of society and stare in the mirror and weigh myself. This weight is too heavy for the farce called reality TV. No network is brave enough to share the faces of you and me. Fate hands us the most beautifully wrapped trials and tribulations, as heavy and deadly as the atomic bomb, and lovingly lays them across our chest, forcing the air right out of our lungs, but we still have to stand up straight and function as if this weight does not exist. We still have to stand up straight and walk as if our body doesn't ache from the pressure of depression compressing our soul. I find myself unconsciously, robotically sucking in the extra weight so I can fit into the molds of the personas the outside world befriends and society accepts. The mother molds, the wife molds, the friend mold, the model employee molds. There's rarely enough time for me to wear my just me mold. I suck in the extra weight so I can fit into these molds that have no windows. So at times my creativity becomes stagnant and my soul begins to drown in the puddles of sweat formed by anxiety. I suck in the extra weight, hoping it doesn't show as I greet you with a warm hello or hug or smile. I discovered that there is no surgery that can cure this weight problem. So I get my therapy from poetry. Each poem encapsulates the burdens from my soul into verses that recycle them into something meaningful, something light. This poem is for you. This is for the 280 million people in the world that suffer in silence on a daily basis. This is for you. I am you. Every day we disrobe the tangible elements of life. Every day we stand on the broken, unbalanced scale of society. Every day we stare in the mirror and weigh ourselves. This poem is for you. I see you. I feel you. I write these words with hope that they penetrate the manufactured molds of society and let you know that you can do this. Poem.
Oh my goodness. If that is not the ultimate pep talk, I don't know what is. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Marty.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Marty. Thank you for
Thank
spilling
you.
your
The
feelings.
ultimate pep talk. You said it.
So
You said
much.
it.
Means
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then for it to be some new shit, right? For some new shit came through and dropped my 1 ton life. I don't know if it gets much heavier, right? Grant my wish of taking away some of this weight, this burden, right? This broken and balanced weight of society. What are we supposed to do with that? It's the presence, the pressure of depression compressing our souls. You better come through with that, buddy, for real. For real. Like that's just, that's just tantalizing the tongue with that. I love it. Wear my just me mode. When do I get a chance to wear my just me mode beyond the employee mode, the mommy role, the wife role? Right. Thankfully, we get our therapy through poetry. Otherwise, it'd be a whole lot more smoke in the city. Believe me. Appreciate you, Marty, for coming through. Make sure you are plugging in with Diamonds in the Abyss. Their blog is actually dope as hell, too. So make sure you are plugging in. All right. Coming up next, Final Four. All the way from the other side of the pond, this poet, the most eloquent writer I know, continues to come through and share his incredible work with us. The one and only Lantern Carrier is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online, Lantern. It is always such a pleasure to see you and hear your magnificent work. Please take it away.
Thank you. Finding balance, self-care. Justice at its core suggests the quality of being fair or reasonable, the administration of laws and authority in enforcing them. It has scales like a Libran pendulum, swinging up and down like a seesaw, striving to balance itself like cosmic love. Justice is a moral principle meant to encourage objectivity in conduct, criminal, moral, and social justice, tribal justice, and once some hunger for a lot, racial justice. Legal justice straps us to some chairs, dying, not always because they are guilty, simply colored differently. Justice can be moral and ethical codes not shared by all, yet it represents criteria and attitudes necessary for good relationships between human resources, land resources, and a multiplicity of ethnic issues in various workforce, which should be addressed and delicately balanced. It can be tricky in the workplace, as tribes, codes, and temperaments differ. Negative emotions, avarice and power, status and corporate bias sway like the vicissitudes of life, affecting our lifestyles and equilibrium. Our criminal justice systems enforce laws handed down for millenniums. Truths are supposed to be self-evident. Humans created equal and endowed with certain unalienable rights to include life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Yet souls are on different rungs of the ladder of love, some still sojourning on the rung of predatory instincts, leading to callousness and malicious pleasure. Gentrification harbors the sins of the elite, pushes the poverty-stricken to distant zones, a system also applied when addressing the needs of medical care. Hatred turns into ropes full of discrimination and bigotry, stealing life force in trees, knees choking prana in broad daylight. Mad dogs and guns in hot pursuit, fueled by the crimson hue that excites them like vampires. There is no balance when any empire takes advantage of the weak. How do we find balance? Where is our self-care? To address Maslow's hierarchy of human needs, we at first need water, food, shelter, air, and warmth, a social interaction to maintain our self-esteem, decorum, or ability to love without carrying the burdens of history, of remorse, guilt, fear, and shame. How can one erase loneliness and insecurity when there is a dearth of love, of only darkness on the horizons of tomorrow? An oppressed people said to the corporate elite, shine a light in our tunnels of despair. But the oppressors were more used to the ways of taking and complacency than the ways of giving in return. Rights may have severe consequences, as what one perceives to be an amendment right may be a wrong for another. So sometimes, in the interest of self-care, it may be better to allow flexibility of many windows in the heart, a temple that accommodates and is welcoming to all. Libra calls for balance, justice, and equipoise. It is fair-minded, and its element is air, necessary for all. We breathe freely when there is sufficient self-care and other esteemed needs, when the light of heaven permeates our darkness, our minds, hearts, and soul to do the needful, meaningful, and fruitful. Lantern Carrier, Godspeed.
I told y'all the most eloquent writer I know. Unmute yourself. Give it up for
Lantern.
Right, Lantern.
Awesome.
What do you think of Cornell's running for the big house?
Yeah.
They changed the name of the
Thank
White
you.
House
Thank
to
you.
the House of Coltrane.
Beautiful to see you.
So good to see you.
Yeah, I said
love
it.
all those references. I love all those references, right? And I know all of them. First of all, shout out the presidential candidate, the one and only Dr. Cornell West. I actually met that cat. Listen, Lantern, I appreciate you so much, first of all, for staying up as late as you have on the other side of the pond, but for always bringing that cosmic love to our open mic. Really, justice can be moral and ethical, if we so choose it, right? But unfortunately, souls are on different rungs of the ladder of love. We know that, right? Mad dogs and guns in hot pursuit. Maslow's hierarchy. If you don't know about Maslow, listen, he's weaving in psychology into his poetry. If you're not familiar, please do your research. Allow flexibility in the windows of the heart. He even mentioned the zodiac. He even threw in astrology. Make sure you are plugging in with Lantern Carrier, an incredible mainstay of our community. Real quick, 3 poets left. Shout out Poetic Desire. I see you in the building, East. Appreciate you for coming through. Coming up next, 1/3 of the Jersey Trinity. Author of the Chameleon Chronicles. This incredible poet continues to come through and just bring such amazing poetry. I'm telling you, if you are not familiar, make sure you get familiar with the one and only Terry Rose Jertson in the building. Unmute yourself, Terry. Let the folks know where they can find you. It is always great to see you. Please take it away.
Thank you. You can find me on Facebook under Terry Rose Jertson and on IG at The Chameleon Poetic. I had to change my name because IG messed with my account. Here's my book called The Chameleon Chronicles, Words Never Spoken. And you can get this on Red or Green website and just type in the title, The Chameleon Chronicles, and search, and it brings you right there. And then you can order right from the website, easy peasy. I'm going to read a poem from around Halloween time, which I read on another thing live, dressed in full costume with face paint and all, but I don't have all that kind of time tonight. So it's just going to be as it is, but actually appropriately fits this theme, and you'll get it by the time we're done. The mole on my chin is gone. It was described as a beauty mark by my mother when I was a child. It was a tiny dot at first, but it resembled a beauty mark, almost minuscule. But as I grew older, it got bigger. Not that big, but bigger, and a small hair grew out of it. This reminded me of my grandmother, who had what she called whiskers sprouting from her chin. There were many, but she used to pluck them out. I began this process of plucking, and then the one hair turned into two. And one day, still under the assumption that this was a beauty mark, my doctor said to me, you know, I could burn that thing off. And I was astonished that he even noticed and that he volunteered to do this. It was one of the many times I began to question something my mother once told me. Moles, in my opinion, were associated with old, ugly witches from fairy tales. So I quickly decided to let him do just that. The process was painless for the most part, and afterwards there was a barely visible scar. Later, after a year or two, a single white whisker appeared in its place. So that's for you to figure out the balance and how that was balanced.
Listen, it is such a reality of who we are. You know what I mean? One turns into two and turns into two more. Unmute yourself, give it up for Terry Rose Jersey.
Terry.
That was the
Yes,
best
Terry.
story.
Yeah.
That.
Listen, make sure you are plugging in with the Chameleon Poetic. Listen, their manuscript is incredible. Make sure you are plugging in and how to connect it. Also, real quick, shout out Professor Platinum. Appreciate you, Doug Silver, always for being here and sharing your energy. Listen, Terry Rose Jurtson, again, mention, you know, the whiskers, right? It's such an interesting term, right? Only used by a certain group of people. It's just like, oh, these damn whiskers, get out of here. One hair turned into two. I feel like as we grow and as our number gains momentum, those things show up very disrespectfully, right? Very, very disrespectfully. They show up in the first class seats, right? All the way up front and shit. It's like, wait. Hold up. Who the hell told you that you had access to these seats? However, I think, you know, those things do mark a level of wisdom that we cannot pay for. So thank you, Terry Rose. Make sure you're plugging in to Terry Rose Jurtson, a mainstay of our community. Final two poets, folks. Coming up next, this pilot runs his own airship. He is incredible at what he does. A true human being of a poet, the one and only Raul James is in the building. Unmute yourself, let the folks know where they can find you online and how they can connect with all the inspired words that you host. We are thankful that you are in this building this evening. Please take it away.
Thank you, brother. Blessings to you all, and thank you for your kind, supportive words. I'll put my stuff in the chat. You know me, I don't usually write to themes, but since the theme is about balance and well-being, I invite others to embrace the duality of life that we live in. One cannot know love without fear, light without dark. They all serve a purpose. I just am a man that walks in the experience of light and dark. And justice without love, without respect, is tyranny. So this piece is, excuse me, a piece that I'm working on. So I don't even know if it's finished. I'll just read it. I'm not sure what the title is. So I was born into it. No choice was given. As a boy, I was taught God is good, the Alpha, the Omega, everywhere, all things, whose power is beyond time and space, the creator of the heavens and the earth, who birthed the light from the dark. All of creation completed in 6 days, with the seventh my first me day. It is said that I was created by thy image. How cool to know God has dreads and a tan that no sun can bake. Does that mean I know thy will? Were you the serpent or the apple? Because you are everywhere in all things. No answer to questions, just told to trust, as more verses just muddied the waters. How can I trust God? A rib from me to create woman, so I do not have to wander alone. Together we created mankind, yet it's decreed I have domain. It is written, the morning star was cast out of his rebellious pride. Yet the one who made no mistakes created me, broken and born of sin. How can I trust God? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but why do your words vex so many? Where is free will in the 10? Man's will is to command with books of temples for moral souls. Yet the truth of intention paves the road. His only son came waving a sword to stir the pot, enforcing Moses' laws. Yet perfection hung on a cross, fought for salvation, yet realized. How can I trust God when he pits brother against brother, father against son, daughter against mother, invalidates our love for him? How can I trust God when his words are followed by bullets? Religions of God's claim to be faithful, while the ordained have no faith in humanity. Is it faith that spawns intolerance? If I don't embrace conditioned flows, expulsion my faith from the garden, while mocked my common sense. How can I trust God? I don't. I trust the balance I call Yah, that requires nothing, does not shame nor guilt, does not care if I drop to my knees, needs not to prove its power. I am not from sin or destiny. Free will governs my choice. I am not broken nor need fixing, for I am not a mistake. I am the eyes of Yah, and Yah sees through my eyes. I am the answer to the question. I trust myself. End of piece.
Oh man, that is just that that appreciation of self, that knowledge of self is heavy. Unmute yourself, give it up for Roll James.
Roll
Thank you.
James.
Well, thank you. That perfect to end with that piece. That's perfect to end with that piece. Yes. That was beautiful.
More ends within you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like Roll James is just, again, captain of his own ship, an incredible host, incredible poet with incredible insight. How cool is it to know God has dreads in the 10? Are you kidding? How cool is it to know? He said, together we created mankind. Really? Really? Sticks and stones. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's probably sticks and stones, maybe older than the damn 10 Commandments themselves. Perfection hung on a cross. Come on, man. The ordained has no faith in humanity. If you don't know what he means, ask him. I trust in the balance I call Yah. Yahweh. Again, I know I may be speaking another language, but trust, it's all about balance, as Raul mentioned. Appreciate you, Raul, for coming through and sharing your incredible balance with us, a mainstay of our community. Make sure you are plugging in. We have reached the closer of the evening. This poet, a newer mainstay of our community, has come through and brought all the heat with them. We look forward to everything they bring. The one and only Love Infinite will be closing us out this evening. Come on, Love Infinite. Let these folks know where they can find you. You know what it is. Come on, take it away.
Hello, everyone. So happy to be here, closing out this show. My Instagram is Dragon Empress 99. Facebook, you can type in Love Infinite. You'll find either my personal page or my business page. Yes, and then for all the poets, I've dropped my information in the chat. Have some new shit for y'all that I wrote, during this time of listening. And I'm grateful to be here and to share it. So here we go. This poem is called Lack of Self-Care, written by myself, Trajan Andrews Dewberry, aka Love Infinite. This poem is dedicated to all the wannabes and self-proclaimed poetries who sing songs of freedom, but can't imagine it, can't feel it, can't be them. Yes, this is the poem to call everybody out, and I am everybody, so drop your resentments now. I don't want to see you pout. Sorry, not sorry. When I speak of the free world and unity, I got mad men and women who don't believe in racism, but telling me I'm projecting to clean my heart out and clear my mind. My vision's 2020 and you still senseless and blind. You can't even see yourself in my world, a utopia divine that understands spectrum and the unseen. You want to know who am I? I am the single-handed defeater of self-hatred, the champion of self-care, unrivaled destroyer of the matrix. I ran through CP mazes as an experiment in my first and my last years. I cried tears fully knowing that I passed the universe in 3 light years. I friended deadpans who couldn't lend a hand, who couldn't be my friend, just wanted to watch the throne. These niggas really in Paris carrying lanterns, now Mercury in Glasgow. You just watch how the cash flow. You still believe in money. You talking about the government, this and that, and you feel shitty without the money, without the honey. Y'all giving out challenges to Ed Poetastic. You tired of hearing about sex so much because your mama and daddy poked 5 holes in they plastic. I'm about to get real spastic because I was born insane. They wondering why I don't have friends because I don't let negativity pass through my membrane. This cytoplasm hella pure. This mitochondria charged up. I'm talking to roses and lilies and they saying y'all time's up. When's the last time you hugged yourself? When the last time that you touched your body? You looking for a life partner and ain't spend 20,000 hours touching your body. How you gonna know them when you hate being alone and you still live in fairy tales and searching for a home? I know. When's the last time you touched your head and told it you loved it? All I hear is depression, despair, suicide. I'm fucking above it. After all that I've been through, I'm done being humble. Queen bee, hear the rumble. Can you hear the bumble? Bzz. Y'all love being hard workers and no, I cannot relate. I spent all day painting, lick yellow squash off my pink plate. My God told me I'm built different. I'm the first POTUS to hit different. You hate the president so much, but you hide in your house and kitchen. I'm Paul Skiffin wisdom. You ever just stop and listen to your own self? You sharing that your heart is failing you bad for your own health. I left the Thomas Train show. He say he got an open mind. This nigga right here ain't have to take a tab or pill in order to open mind. Stop playing. How much is your friendship worth? Do I gotta buy your latest book or do you want a Fendi purse? You want my empathy or sympathy? I know it hurts. With your life, you playing small, living on the dark side. I eat garlic almost every day. No vampire can suck my time. Your hate could never stop my shine. Your jealousy, I wipe my ass with. I walk down the street with my head down because I know I'm protected. You don't believe in the free country that I'm building. I think you'd hate it there because everybody's happy, smiling, breathing, housed on their self-care. And don't nobody have fears. We cross that bridge and mountain and everybody play big. We know that we all that fountain. We got all the time in the world and everybody crave death. We love that our seasons change, embracing metamorphosis. You know what I like about you? You're always headed somewhere and doing something. And after you're done with doing that, you're still unfulfilled and complaining about something else. You'll never be satisfied till you're buried or killed. You're never meditating. You don't work out. You don't stretch, but on your resume, it says you're adaptable, flexible, palatable. You refuse to yoga, but you're my senior. So you want me to see you as Yogi, the elder, the mentor, the elder, the mentor. You want respect from me that you never give yourself and your body. Ha! That's what I really love about you. You're so funny, hilarious. You hate the Samuel rain. You hate the heat. Come on now, JT. You love the propaganda, but you hate me. You find a Nemo or some, but you despise Dory. That's me. I'm the Principe. You want to be the principal, but you can't detain me. Fuck detention and fuck your schools. I got a poetic desire. I got places I want to see. I'm on my Moses and my Noah. I built an ark just to show you how. You ain't want to come, so I'm alone sailing the Joski Sea. I'm too elemental for you. I'm a diamond in DC. I'm the pearl, Mr. Krabs. You just too fucking stingy for me. You don't like my sun rays. You don't like my Ray Janes. I'm just like, damn, Daniel, I'm going to the San Fernando Valley. Ain't no mountain high enough for me. I'm on my Emily Elizabeth or my Liz Manette. Just give me a minute, not just 3 minutes. I want all your time, all your attention, all your respect. I want to be down with RMT just so you can like me, Ike me. What's love got to do with it? It's an undetermined cause, inshallah, hala. I mean, holla, if you hear me, neuroscientists like Mr. Tez and Tupac. Do you love my roar? I mean, my raw. Do you got any service? Can you answer my calls? Nah, Douglas, are you listening in Goma? Are you still chilling? Happy birthday from the biggest hilly Billy, the goat gruffs. You still pretending that you love yourself and that you love the world? You still pretending you believe that Martin's dream could unfurl? You don't even want it. You wouldn't meditate or strike if I paid you for it. You like being slave to the matrix and simulation. You like claiming to be Neo and writing poems for liberation. You like talking about Black lives just for the sensations. You like smoking and drinking but don't want the smoke or libation. You like birthing poems but don't want to rebirth the nation. You want a brave new world but don't want to mirror its creation. You like imperialism. Your whole persona is faking. What's the last thing you did for revolution? I smell the shit in you. It's what's causing all the pollution. When's the last time you embodied the revelation? I could sure use it. Let's get into it. Let's change the station. I'm done with patience. Don't tell me to be patient. You're just a patient. I'm standing right here. You're scared of naked. I'm always naked. I'm done with waiting. The world been mine for the taking and the making. The only thing I hate is how long I waited. Finn. Thank you.
Okay. Everybody catch your breath for a second. You got it? Okay. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Love Infinite.
She just do that.
Oh, way to close it.
What just happened?
Fire.
Yeah, just close the spirit. That's some unbroken.
Yeah.
Can't be afraid of each other or ourselves. Wow.
That's right. That's right.
Well,
CC.
no surprise you won the San Jose Slam.
Thank you.
No surprise whatsoever.
Wow.
You're beyond the force of nature.
Thank you.
It's not easy to be critical of each other and still somehow get respect. That's, you know, I don't know if I got bitch slapped in that one, but if I did, I would have to take it. If you got
Hold on. He said, I'm not sure. If you're not sure, it's because you felt that shit. You like, did she just smack me? Yeah. She just smacked everybody. Shout out the paint slingers in the building. Shout out the Inhumans in the building. Because Love Infinite just showed us what it is. Right? So many of us have heard and have done community poems. But if I'm not mistaken, Love Infinite just did that in the room, right? Yeah. Again, shout out Love Infinite for showing off. But this is what I love about our community. When the poetry is flowing, when the creativity truly shows up, you get poems like that. Shout out for all that new shit. My Vision 2020, and you still senseless and blind. I was born insane. Are you kidding me? Cataclysm, hella pure. Spent 20,000 hours touching your body. If you don't know what that 20,000 hours mean, make sure you doing your research. She said, I'm the queen bee, here to rumble. Can you hear the bumble? I'm Paul Skiffin Wisdom. I eat garlic every day so no vampire can suck my time. Fuck out of here. When was the last time you embodied revolution? Listen, that was my last poem, personally. But if you're not sure how to answer those questions, make sure you check yourself before you riggedy wreck yourself. Or Love Infinite will call your ass out, clearly. Appreciate you, Love Infinite, for being a new mainstay of our community and closing us out the way that Love Infinite can. To every single poet who touched the mic this evening, from the leadoff hitter in Deadpan to the closer of Love Infinite, I truly appreciate you. You truly make this thing work. Make sure you are plugging in with the squad. Make sure you are getting some merch. Plug into neweurekan.org. So many things coming. So many things. Listen, I love all y'all. I can't thank you enough for rocking with us on the hypest night of the week. I love all y'all. We will end the night like this until we meet again. May this energy we conjured this evening supercharge the rest of your week. Take this power, inspire others, energize creativity as we all hope to do through the spirit of Miguel Agadim. Your voice is appreciated, necessary, and always valuable in this space. Thank you for sharing it with us. On behalf of the greatest community in the world, it has truly been a pleasure spending Monday night with y'all. Until next week, y'all. Peace. Blessings.